In this video, we're using the TORO 60-volt battery, the power tether, and hedge trimmers to see if running a hedge trimmer with this 60-volt backpack platform on is something that you would want to do. I'm just going to give my opinions and you can make your own decisions based on that. Here I am putting in the smallest batteries I have, which are two 2.5 amp hour batteries. The backpack's around 10 pounds. The 2.5 amp hour batteries weigh a little under 4 pounds, so somewhere around 17, 18 pounds this backpack is going to weigh. The question is that weight on your back worth the weight that you don't have to carry with your arms? So this is the power tether. You can see one end plugs in here to the battery pack, and then the other end plugs into whatever tool you're using. It also has a battery readout display here, so while you're using the tool, you don't have to open up the backpack to see how much energy you have left. Here we're loading it into the 60-volt commercial hedge trimmer. Now I personally don't like handheld hedge trimmers just because I find they wear me out a lot quicker than pole or shafted hedge trimmers. This one does have an adjustable handle so you can rotate it, which is nice. If you don't have one that rotates, it can give you some kind of awkward angles when you're cutting, especially you have to switch around. One thing I found pretty quick is those straps are mandatory. I mean, obviously you don't have to wear them, but for comfort's sake, I did it. Helped keep the backpack from shifting around. Even with the battery off, this hedge trimmer is not light. And again, that's another reason why I like those shafted hedge trimmers, because you can distribute the weight a little bit better. With a handheld hedge trimmer, all the weight is held out in front of you, and it can almost feel like it's, pulling you forward into the bush. That's just a personal preference on my part. That may not be something that bothers you. But for the next little bit, I'm going to comment where it needs it, but for a little while, I'm just going to speed this up and show you the performance of the hedge trimmer so you can see what it sounds like and how it cuts. Now here is one disadvantage of this backpack. It will not let you fit in between shrubs in the house if you've only got a few feet in order to do the back sides of hedges. Obviously that's going to depend on the places that you're cutting at, if you can even reach the back side of the hedge. But that's one thing I found. I couldn't get the back of the hedge with this backpack on. My personal thoughts on if it's worth it for this tool: I kept getting nervous about where that cord was, and I was paranoid that I was going to slice it. I'm sure the more you use it, the more comfortable you would be with it. But at least for me, that was something that I was thinking about pretty much all the time, and I was a little bit worried about. On a job like this one where there's a lot of shrubs and you're constantly changing hands, it can kind of be a pain if you're left-handed like I am. The cable had to cross in front of me. That might be the same if you're right-handed. I'm not sure as I think about it, but I found that the cable crossed over my body quite a lot because of the way I held the machine. Again, that may not be an issue for you, but it was a little bit uncomfortable is not the right word, but it was just weird to have that cable laying in front of me. So now at this point, I have done the most that I can with the handheld hedge trimmer, and I have to switch to the shafted, the pole hedge trimmer. I really like this pole hedge trimmer from TORO because they've got it where it articulates. It's an attachment, so it fits onto the power base of the 60-volt system, and it cuts pretty well. It's been quite a while since I sharpened the cutting teeth on it, so it doesn't do as well as the day that I got it, but it's a very nice performing machine. So now we'll go ahead and see if using the backpack with this is any better. And honestly, what I found is that the 4 pounds you save on your arms is not really worth the 18 or 20 pounds that you've got on your back. Again, that's my personal preference. If it were something where you were hedge trimming all day, I still am not sure if you'd need it. I think the 20 pounds on your back would do more to wear you out than the 4 pounds on your arms, and that you've still got that cable to deal with, right? So sometimes it's not going to reach all the way because of how it's crossing your body. Sometimes you've got to step over it. Sometimes you might be worried that you're about to slice it in half. Another thing that limits the usefulness of this backpack, and this is just my opinion, but it's how efficient Toro has the batteries for hedge trimming. Hedge trimmers are going to be one of the most economical uses of your energy when it comes to battery consumption. So there's not really a reason to prolong it by putting 2 batteries on your back, because the one battery that's 4 pounds, it's going to last you through all this hedge trimming and more. So that's another thing where, like for instance, I saw Cameron Duncan, the Lawn Care Life in Missouri. He wore a backpack for string trimming. And to me, that makes sense because string trimming, especially heavy growth, you can burn through a 2.5 amp hour battery in 15-20 minutes if it's very heavy growth. So wearing a backpack with a couple of larger batteries, that makes sense for a long job. But at least for me, on this hedge trimming job where I don't know, maybe 30 or 40 minutes, it doesn't seem worth it to me. But again, that's my personal opinion. You'll have to take this information and do with it what you will, whether or not this kind of setup makes sense for you. Thanks so much for watching. I really do appreciate it.